So you are welcome to my healthy food place where we share ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. And so we continue with ideas, herbs, common foods to help you lower your blood pressure. But that is not to say that if you are already having blood pressure, you should not go to your doctor. You must consult your doctor if you are having high blood pressure. We believe in prevention because the prevention is always better than cure. But we also believe that there are some of these herbs and foods that can actually help you manage that condition. And gradually, you will over time begin to live on it and begin to use food as your medicine. It is possible, but you need to be guided. There are so many herbs that can do this same thing, lowering your blood pressure, but helping you to lower it and to manage it. But you need knowledge, you need guide, you need education, because that is exactly what is missing. And so I want you to ensure that you follow this life to the end and ensure to watch yesterday's life on this same subject, because yesterday was actually the beginning of this focus on blood pressure, because there are too many cases, of people crying out that their blood pressure is not responding, or they are not even responding to medications again, and for several other reasons. And so that is why it became necessary to give this education, because you need to be reminded that all that is being said is for educational purpose on this platform. And so you need to be educated that you can actually start including some of these foods in your diet. Mark the word moderately, because even when you consume or include any particular one, any food in excess, you are likely to get a negative result, or rather, you may also get the ugly side of that food when you begin to take it in excess. And that is the essence of being guided by someone that's experienced. You need to be enlightened. A lot of people, once they hear a particular food is good for, or someone else used it and it was able to help with blood pressure, boom, they start consuming it indiscriminately. But the purpose why you need to follow this life and ensure that you are following from the beginning is so that you be properly educated and enlightened. As much as this, some of these foods that we'll talk about will help you or can help you, if you use them too much, they can also give you a negative result. If you use them in excess, if you use them wrongly, it's going to be ugly too. You say, okay, hello, you're welcome to the house. It's going to be ugly for you. So when you hear that a certain food is good for high blood pressure, you need more information about it. You need more education about it. You need more guidance about that particular herb. You don't just dabble into it. A lot of people have, caused problem for themselves because of poor information, inadequate information. Just you heard or you read it online that this, mixing this, you mix this with this. There are too many of such concoctions online. Some of the people posting it have not even tested it. And so that is why I want to share some of these things that I have used while helping people recover and take back their health. Because when your life is only on medication, especially after 50, 60 years, you definitely won't be a happy person. Because at that point, what is a roach? There's a roach on your wall. Where is the roach? I can't find it. Okay, so what we are saying is that you need to take these foods at the right time. What I'm going to be sharing with you, some of the herbs, there are too many of them. That's why I'm often surprised when I hear people complain about high blood pressure. When I hear people complain blood pressure is this, blood pressure, it's because of inadequate knowledge. So please, you need to sit and watch this. It's a time worth spending. So it's a time worth spending. You need to stick here. Number one fact about these foods I want to share is that some of them help to clean your arteries. So you need to understand what a particular food is doing in your body. Some of them help to oxygenate your blood. You need to understand that one too. Some of them help to reduce acids. Okay, you're welcome, you butterflies. Tell me where you're watching from, please. So you need to understand the function of that particular food that you're taking, what it's going to do in your body. So you need to understand, because the cause of the high blood pressure, USA, okay, you're welcome, my love. So what I'm saying, what caused high blood pressure for Mr. A may actually not be what caused high blood pressure for Mr. B. I'm telling you from my experience. And we talked a lot about that yesterday. And I need you to find time to watch yesterday's live. Watch it to the end. You're going to gain a lot from that, because it was intended actually to share this some of these herbs, but eventually ended up, because of questions and comments and interactions, we spent most of the time, answering questions and trying to, make sure everyone present was satisfied with what we did yesterday, and I'm glad about it. And so today, we want to highlight one fact about these foods. Some of them to raise your antioxidants, the antioxidant level in your body. When you attain certain age, when you are at risk of high blood pressure, we talked about all this yesterday, that there are people who are at risk. Certain things can put you at risk of high blood pressure. You need to watch that. We don't need to say that today again. But if you are already managing high blood pressure and you are on medications, I do not suggest that you jump out of your medication suddenly. You need to move along with your doctor gradually, because most times when you have been on medication for long, your body becomes like it's used to it. That is just the simple truth I'm telling you. Your body gets used to it. And so it's not something you just rush because you had one message or someone told you or gave you one remedy, you throw away your medication and then you jump into it. Because as long as your body is already used to that medication and using it to manage that condition, if you take it out suddenly, you may not like the experience. You may not like the experience. So you need to move along gradually, carry your doctor along gradually, and over the time, your doctor will tell you that it's time to stop this medication, that is dropping your BP below normal. That is the best way to do it. And I've often told the people the truth about it. I'm not someone that will come and tell you online that you mix this thing, boil this thing together, high blood pressure will vanish away. I don't do that. I don't even believe in it because it doesn't work out that way. Our body is so complex. There are so many things that you need to fix in your body. Most times, if you don't fix it, even that's why people complain. I've heard people complain, report to me that so thing is no longer working. Then we need to get to the root of it. And so if you are consuming acidic foods, ready to eat foods all the time, I want to recap it quickly. You are at risk because of the sodium inside it. I'm not going to be repeating, but I need to quickly have a run down on it. So, and if you are experiencing high blood pressure and you suspect that, or you got to know through education and awareness such as this, that you are always consuming processed foods. I mean, foods high in sodium. You need to stop that. And you need to work to restore that balance that you lost by consuming alkaline foods, by including raw foods. Now, some of the things I want to share here are raw foods. Foods like cucumbers. It's an alkaline food. It's great. I mean, it's a raw food. Cucumbers. It's great for your blood pressure. You can get a paper and write some of them down because it's going to be a fairly long list. It's going to be a fairly long list. A lot of women, for instance, when they are getting to menopause, high blood pressure will be knocking on the door, high blood sugar will be knocking on the door, and if you do not make a swift lifestyle change, a swift dietary change, you're going to be welcoming all of these things. Thank you, my love. Welcome, Okon. So, if you don't make a swift, a swift change, lifestyle change, dietary change immediately, you are entering your menopause. If you're a woman, your blood begins to get very thick, and things like arthritis, things like high blood sugar, things like high blood pressure, a lot of other things comes knocking on your door. So if you are not, if you haven't changed your diet and you are still living the life you're living before, obviously these things will come. But if you do these things and start including, maybe you haven't been including raw food, you need to start including low-calorie vegetables, raw foods in moderation, like cucumbers. You can put it down. Let it be part of your diet. If it's something you can have access to. Some people where you don't have access to some of these things, but there are some other things Mother Nature must have put there for you that can do the job. For instance, in where we are now, it's not in season. I've not had it for like over 2 months, but I'm trying to use other things to do its job before the season come out, because most of these things are seasonal too. So you can put it down. It's one of them. You need to have apples, especially green apples, because it contains malic acid. Sometimes when people are, getting symptoms of the high blood pressure, I don't want to talk about the symptoms because, again, symptoms vary with individuals. Some people start having headache with high blood pressure. Some people have difficulty breathing. Some have problems sleeping. Some have variety of, some just start feeling a kind of uneasiness around them. Me, I don't know, but I think that's what a lot of them complain about when I ask. So when you know the symptoms, but that is a caution I need to give you. You need to be checking it. Please, you take note. Some of those that are managed, they don't check it. Get the BP monitor. It's not a show of faith when you don't check it. I don't believe, and it's not going to happen to me. Get a blood pressure monitor. I do have, even though I don't normally have high blood pressure. I do have. Why? Because there are sometimes you may think you have understood everything. How, when it's high, you know. When it's not high, you know. I have seen people talking like that. But I tell you, I use myself as an example. I do check my sugar, my blood sugar, for instance, because if I don't take care, blood sugar is the one that can easily rise in my own case. And so once in a while, long while, I do check. There are certain things I feel I do check. But even if I don't feel any of these things, I do once in a long while you check to make sure that it's within this day. This is just by the way. So if you suspect that I'm speaking English, yes, unless you need interpretation, I'm speaking English. So if you suspect that you are having any of those symptoms that you know, because those symptoms could be peculiar to you, but another person may have symptoms like inability to sleep at night or some other symptoms. So you understand some of the signs, signals that your body begin to give you, and you begin to suspect that it looks like the BP is rising, then that is when you need to go for this food. I mentioned soursop leaves yesterday, and soursop leaves, whether fresh leaves or dried, is very good. It's one of the leaves, I'm not talking of the fruit, that helps you to quickly start bringing it down. But that is not to say that you will stop at soursop leaves. You don't have to stop there. Because when you take the soursop leaves for too long, for instance, and you are not even controlled, it may start to affect your nerves. So you need to be guided. You don't have to just say, oh, somebody drank soursop leaves and the blood pressure come down. So every day you keep boiling it and drinking it. You need to be guided. Take note of that. And so you can boil a few leaves, like 6, 7, or 8 leaves, fresh or dried. They even have in supermarket, in some regions where they don't have sour. I know places like Philippines. I've heard people message me from Philippines. They say they have a lot of it. Some countries have it in abundance. Some don't have it at all. And so even when you go to some shops, health shops, you can even find some dried soursop leaves. They sell it, they webble it here and there, and people who don't have it in their region can have access to it, and that is okay. So whether fresh or dried, you just boil about 8 or 9 leaves and make tea. Just make boil and save it and then drink in the morning. It's great for you. It's great. It's anti-inflammatory and begins to work immediately to lower your blood pressure. I have advised a lot of people on it, and the results they brought is even amazing. So that is by the way. So, but that is not the only herb that does that. Now, there is another one. When you are preparing your meal, you do not need to use artificial taste enhancers, all those sodium-laden products that help to bring out the taste. No, you need to start using foods, spices that can lower blood pressure. And top on that list is cinnamon, garlic. These are blood thinners. I said yesterday, and I'm reminding us again, that blood thinners will help you keep the thickness of your blood under control to avoid the risk of stroke. So if you are being told that you need, if you have been told that you need, to take vegetable soup, for instance, and you start to take it, vegetables like moringa, green vegetables are blood thickeners, and if you start taking them too much and you do not add some spices okay, thank you for subscribing, my dear. I appreciate that. Thank you. I need you to comment. As you are commenting, always comment where you are commenting from. I need to know that. Tell me your location, your region. I need to know that. I'm always interested in that too. So I'm saying that you need to, ensure that the food you are cooking is not inflammatory. Okay, you said that before. It's not inflammatory. Some meals, if you are eating already made meals, you are consuming inflammation-causing foods, and you are not going. You are creating room for high blood pressure. If you are always consuming ready-to-eat breakfast cereals that are in packets, all those ones, I don't take them anymore. You guess what I'm taking? I'll tell you about that later. So you see some people, they always like ready-to-eat drinks in supermarkets. I was a fan of it. You see food that is looking so beautiful in supermarkets. Maybe it's canned soup, maybe it's baked beans, maybe it's mayonnaise, just any food, anything that is ready to eat. Be careful with it, because most of them come with preservatives, especially in form of sodium. And if you have too much sodium, you need to be careful, because it's a matter of time. Blood pressure will start knocking or will come visiting. Yes, Once the sodium is more than the potassium in your blood, you have opened door for high blood pressure. Medication won't even settle that for you. Medication can help you with symptoms, relieve your symptoms, but all this imbalance in your body, it won't settle, it won't take them out. If you are consuming inflammation too much, like these ones I mentioned, going to be causing it. Now, you need to prepare your meals with natural ingredients like sea salt. If you are using refined table salt, you need to be careful. I stopped using it more than 15 years. Use only food that will deliver nutrients. Sea salt is said to have over 82 nutrients, and it's what I've been using. Micronutrients that will help you with your heart, with your blood, with your electrolyte, your energy level, a lot of things, and it's not acidic. And so it's going to deliver a lot of the nutrients you need in small amount without, pushing up your blood pressure. So you need to use it to cook your meals. I'm talking of sea salt. It's one of the very important decisions you need to make. Go get sea salt. If you've been using white salt to cook your meals and you have attained that age and you're at risk, you need to get sea salt and start cooking with it. You say, okay, I love that question. What about iodine? Isn't iodine needed? Okay, now some people have also confronted me with the question of iodine in the diet. That if you are taking sea salt, iodine is not there. Well, I say, well, I didn't do that. But I tell you, you see crayfish, that small crayfish is a good source of, okay, you see crayfish, don't worry about iodine, you don't need much of it. If you are using sea salt, it could be marketing something. There is always a strategy. I've been using sea salt for more than 15 years. Myself and my time, though it's expensive, but it's definitely cheaper than sickness and disease if you compare being sick. So if you are, thank you, my love, my friend yesterday, thank you, welcome again to the house. Appreciate you for coming. So you don't have to worry about iodine, because if you are using the crayfish to cook, she is saying, I saw your video on which spice to use. I mentioned crayfish. If you are using crayfish to cook, you get some iodine there because you don't need much. Because crayfish contains salt. Now I will tell you something about crayfish again, so that please note it down. I have seen people who heard about crayfish, how good it is. It contains some protein, vitamin, especially iodine, and it's good. And they say, okay, since they are not going to eat meat, let them eat lots of crayfish. Crayfish, if you can afford large quantity, makes your food to taste good. And guess what? Their blood pressure started shooting up. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. I love that. That's what people are saying, but thank God for the grace of God. I'm over 60. Yes, iodine is good for the thyroid now. That's what I'm saying. So that's why if you are using that, if you are using the sea salt, you need to be using crayfish to cook your food. Crayfish, that small thing they put, seafood, they fish out from the sea, from those small crayfish, crabs, all those things looking like crabs. You need to start using it. They are a good source of iodine. So they will include iodine in your food, because iodine, single iodine that we have been told that is in the white salt, is not enough compared to over 82 micronutrients. It's one of my secrets, and I have to be honest with you. It's one of the secrets why I don't take multivitamins. I'm not on any multivitamin or anything, because those little nutrients that the body needs in small amount, they're already in the sea salt. And for the iodine, you can get from the crayfish. But auntie, I'm Black American, and crayfish is not part of okay. Are you saying that you don't have access to it there, or you have been advised not to eat it, or you don't like crayfish? I want to know. Because if is something you don't have, you can order for it. It's very expensive now here because it be like say they are ordering them abroad to USA. I'm using dollars to buy them, and we don't have them here again like before. It's so expensive, but I still buy it. I still buy it because it contains some little amount of protein, and for the purpose of iodine. Iodine is needed in small amounts for the thyroid, like you said, to support the thyroid. And it's not the only thing that supports the thyroid anyway. There are a lot of other things. And as you follow, you will, as I talk and give examples, you will soon be also, some of them may be highlighted. Will be highlighted, some of the things that also can help support your thyroid. Are you aware that cold pressed coconut oil is a heavy supporter of your thyroid? You're not aware. Better write it down. It's one of the top foods, not part of my diet. How do I cook and eat it in soup? Okay, you are talking of the crayfish. You just blend it. You know, it's usually dried. It can stay for 1 year, 2 years. Like what I normally do. Let me just be honest with you. How I use my own crayfish. And normally, these days, because of the dryness, everywhere is dry, Hamilton. I wasn't doing this before, but I just started it. I grind it with cayenne pepper together, dried cayenne pepper, and put it in a container, you know, in a plastic container. And when I want to make my soup, I grind it into powder with cayenne pepper. So instead of putting pepper, I put it together. So when I'm cooking, I just use it to add, because you know the cayenne pepper we talk about is great for your blood pressure too. And so I use it to add, and the soup, what or stew, tastes very great. I've mentioned some of the ingredients, and you know that it supports the thyroid, but it's not the only food. So we don't have to say, okay, dried, yes. Yes, so you see it in the African market. You see, I said before it was one of the cheapest things, but I tell you now, in the US, they carry everything, they ship it abroad. We don't see anything here. Very expensive. Before, one of the cheapest things, even if you can afford fish, meat, you can afford it. But now, it's more expensive, especially with the awareness that has been created. People get to know that, oh, you can also, even if you don't want to eat meat or whatever, you can make it with crayfish. Yes, you can make your vegetable with cayenne pepper, crayfish, and some of the spices. And you feel it tastes great. And so it's always dried. I mean, crispy dry. So it's not something that you need to worry about it's going to expire or it's going to spoil. It's always dried. So you get it, it supports your thyroid, then you get your sea salt. So I know I told you something about the crayfish. Someone was using it. Someone who was managing some years ago. A woman was using it in large amount. They were using to cook her meals. This is somebody that was managing diabetes and high blood pressure. So I was invited that the BP is suddenly rising. So I began to look into the diet. Why is it rising if despite medications? So only for me to see that they bought a bag of crayfish. Crayfish is high in sodium. Did you get that? So you must be careful with sodium, wherever it's coming from. Because I said, sodium is an electrolyte. Once it's too much, whether it's sea salt, whether it's white salt, whether it's any salt, Himalayan pink salt, whichever salt, as long as it's salt, my dear, take it moderately and cautiously. So the woman began to experience elevated blood pressure, and now they were all worried that why is the blood pressure rising? That they cannot find why, because even the medication is no longer holding it. So when I came around, this was about 9-10 years ago, or more about. Also, when I came around, I began to look into the foods. I said, let me check all that she's been eating. And guess what? Crayfish, they put lots of it. So the sodium in the body rose up. I said, stop this crayfish for now. So you should, and when they stopped it, the BP started going down. So not everything you just start rushing for medication. You need to have knowledge. What what went wrong? You must be more eager to find out where the door was opened for the BP to start rising. You must be more eager to close that door quickly. Yes, I have too much sodium. I stopped using them for long. I stopped using them for over 15 years too. And in that video you said you watched, I shared what I use. And I tell you, my dear, my food tastes great. I wish it's something I can share online. It tastes great. And all my followers are doing that. And they can testify that it tastes great. I didn't have this type of information. That's why I suffered a lot, because I didn't have someone to educate me then. We didn't have so much information out there then. But it pleased God to have mercy on me. That's what I say. It was God's grace and mercy that actually helped me, because I didn't have all this internet. I mean, I was able to access internet like Google, but all the way it is now, there's so much information out there. Yes, go back to the, that's what I do. And I mentioned some spices, some condiments, some fermented condiments. I use them too to cook. They add protein to the meal and help with the taste. We must go back. Start adding fermented condiments. They help lower BP too. They help you manage your blood pressure. Please, you can also write it down. Things like the castor oil. They use it to make in the southeast of Nigeria. Then in the southwest, they have the Iru. They have the Ogiri. All kinds of regions have their ferment. Even in the US, all over the world, each region have one form of fermented food or the other. It's not only Africa. But you need to find out, because these were some of the things that our ancestors were consuming. Some of them didn't have, in African cooking. Fermented food is very good. Yes, fermented food is very good. I don't know. Fermented food is very, very good. That's what I've been using, because it will reduce the sodium also in your food. But if you can also teach even the young children, they love all this packet food ready to make the food will be so sweet. Even when there's no chicken, they will bring the chicken flavor for you and put it. It will be smelling like chicken. Can you imagine that? So you don't need to be taking all those bouillon cubes into your meals. Okay. You don't have to be adding them into your meals if you want to reduce blood pressure. You need to use garlic. You can write this one down. Garlic will bring out the taste in your meal. It will help to fight bacteria, inflammations, reduce viruses, and then help tackle high bad cholesterol. It helps thins out the blood, and then when the bloods are thin, the risk of high blood pressure is reduced. Add your ginger. It helps to bring out the taste, help to fight inflammations. Add your turmeric, whether dried turmeric powder you get. Me, I like to use the fresh one, but sometimes I do make. Okay, he said cholesterol. Does lemon help this? Yes, lemon helps. If you take it in warm water in the morning, it helps break down cholesterol, and even in addition to other dietary changes, it helps to break it down and then to loosen mucus. Because sometimes when the mucus is building up, we need mucus in some way in our body. But when the mucus becomes too much, combined with cholesterol, unhealthy fats, and all the other things in the body, that is what usually most times affects our health, including the blood pressure. And so most people who are having blood pressure, sometimes if you check too, they may also be having high cholesterol. Sometimes if you check, they are having high blood sugar. So most of these things, they seem to work together. I have seen a lot of people managing blood pressure, managing blood sugar, because all of this, most of them work together. So you need to use onions. It's good for your blood pressure. Onions in your cooking. Use onions. Very powerful blood thinner. has antibacterial properties and it's a prebiotic. It's great for your blood pressure. You can write it down too. It's going to buy cayenne pepper, dried one. I mean, grind it. Have lots of it. Yes, garlic also. Put garlic. Cayenne pepper is good for relaxing your arteries, especially for your heart. I call it your heart's best friend. You can give it a try. Honestly, if you are going on a journey and you are wondering part of what to take along, maybe you're someone you are managing, I would always suggest dried cayenne pepper. Is good. It can save you from a lot of emergencies. I don't want to be specific, especially relating to the heart, because of how it works with the arteries and then helping to improve blood circulation. Now, if you have poor blood circulation, that's another problem. That's also another issue with a lot of people. You need to, when I was going through some health challenges, we were deceived that the real cause of stomach ulcer was peppers. I'm not saying too much pepper is not good and can even cause ulcer, which is, I don't doubt that. But we were made to avoid peppers. I did that for a long time, and I knew what happened, the result. And I can tell you for sure that cayenne pepper was part of the first healing step to helping me with stomach ulcer. After being on all kinds of medication to manage ulcer, try this one, try this. But when I realized that I've left pepper out of the diet, thinking that that will heal the ulcer, it was even aggravating it, especially with peppers like cayenne pepper. So I began to include cayenne pepper. That was the first time I began to have quality sleep. And if you cannot sleep well, you can't heal. It doesn't matter what you want to recover from, whether it's high blood pressure, it's Shombo, yes, it's Shombo. If you go to my channel, you will see a lot of them. I talk about them during my videos. I talk about them separately. I talk about them collectively. You will see things like that cayenne pepper. I talk about it and alongside with other foods. And so the cayenne pepper was actually part of what I started to include after living in ignorance and was almost developing something around my liver like heavy metal. It was then I got to know, because I actually went to have a test done, that peppers are good for us. Don't joke with peppers. Don't just look at those tiny spices and ignore them. Don't just, think you can survive. I think it's the best way. Don't just think you can survive without them. Don't think you can survive without them. They are the real healers. Because after staying away for more than 6 months without taking peppers, because I was told the ulcer was going to heal if I avoid peppers. It was getting worse. Acidity was getting worse, especially coupled with the menopause, the premenopause symptoms. Until I returned cayenne pepper. And that was the first day I slept like never before. And that's why I tell people, always be properly informed, because it can save your life. Get information, the right one. Yes, that's where I am. That's where I am, my dear. But I have a lot of followers in the US, whether it's in WhatsApp group or I have a lot of followers that I'm talking with all over South Africa, all over, who also are, in this channel. And it's a good thing that we're here together on this live. At least you can see me like as if I'm there with you, and we can also interact through the comments. And so I have realized that it is part of the disease. So if you are managing high blood pressure, you need proper information on the real cause of your own high blood pressure. Because what caused it for Mr. A may not be what caused it for you. I've said it, and I want to re-emphasize that some people have, my dear, you are asking me a question. I am not. I think somebody asked this question yesterday. I don't know. Something that looks like that. I am not. I'm not, my dear. I'm not. I'm not a doctor. Maybe you are thinking that maybe the information I have is making it look like, but it's all about information. And whatever I tell you, you can also go and verify it. Because most of them are things I have tested. They are things I've been through. And I will not lie to you because maybe I want to sell a product or I want to do one thing. No, I'm here to tell you the truth. What I've been through, the experiences I've had, trying to assist people take back their health. Most of the time, it has also added to my experience, trying to do this for several years. It's a grace that God has given me. It's an uncommon one, but thank God that because health is the greatest wealth. You won't appreciate your health until you lose it. And I pray that none of us will lose our health. Even in the coming year, 2025, you will not lose your health. Because it's the greatest gift. Some people have so much money, have everything, but they are not enjoying it because of what? One thing is missing: a healthy body. You are very intelligent, and I am glad I found you, and I love you. Thank you so much. I also love and appreciate you for being here. Some people believe so much in what they are doing, and they don't even care to gather much and relevant information. And besides that, even if you have information, you need to be updated. I am being updated. If we continue following me, or if you continue to, you over the time, you also find out that occasionally I do have some challenges which God is able to help me to come out. And then when I come out, I come and update us. Yes, I come and update my people, say this is what happened. There's a video I shared on my page when my side was swollen about inflammation. It was this year, 2024. It was the highest challenge ever this year. And it disappeared within 3 days. And I talk about it. When I woke up and found it and I knew what caused it, I quickly came and did a video with it. And I showed it to people, say, look, some of you think I don't ever have, I'm an angel, or I don't ever have anything that disturbed me, that pained me, or anything health. I'm a human being. So once in a while, either stress or some other factors can also put me at risk of inflammations. And so the important thing is to know when it's there and what to do. And what to do, you get it by information. And the last one is by the grace of God. Because if you found this place, it's God that helped you to find it, so that you can get those information. So you need to check what you are using to make your meals. Use natural ingredients. I mentioned some of them: ginger, garlic, turmeric, cayenne pepper. If you want to manage your blood pressure, stop buying your ready-to-eat cereals. All those ready-to-eat food in the can, in the packet, stay off them and start going for. Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. You want to know about? Okay, we'll talk about that. I'm still here. Later on, I'll still be here, and you should be meeting me as I put up scheduled live for a couple of days. You see me, and then maybe in the course of the comment after the live, we can also comment and be able to assess that. So what I'm saying is that, please, what you eat is very important, because it is what you eat that determines how your blood pressure goes. So you need to take these spices I mentioned on a daily basis, though. Not, there's a video I made also that talks about foods you must eat daily. They are part of it. I've tried it too. I've tried to live without certain of them, and I've found effect immediately. So you need to include them on a daily basis in your meals. They help supply you with antioxidants too, to destroy free radicals. So if you are including sea salt, cayenne pepper, local condiments, onions, garlic, turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and all of these things to make your food, and use the right oil, it will be the first step to managing your blood pressure. I mean, lowering your blood pressure. You definitely will like to, you notice it. And the good thing is that as your blood pressure is coming down, your sugar too, they work together, because all to work with inflammations. Cinnamon helps your body with natural insulin production, and that's why I've been using it to cook every day for more than 15 years. I also add it to my teas. When you are taking some teas like cocoa, you add a pinch of cinnamon. It makes the thing to taste good naturally. It's a biblical. So that is it. And so another thing about the blood pressure I said is, apart from using the soursop, you may not have access to all the foods I'm going to mention, but the ones you can get. Okay, you are mentioning, you said there's an control. Yes. Now, you see palm oil. If you are managing high blood pressure, be very careful with red palm oil. Even if you are diabetic, be very careful. Because at the initial time when I was trying to take back my health, I stayed off red oil, to be frank with you. And it's a good thing you're hearing this and you even asked this question. And I stayed off red palm oil for I was eating fresh coconut. In fact, I was afraid to eat food. That was the extent I went with my health several years ago, trying to take back my health. When you see food and you're afraid, some people are in that condition today. Because immediately you eat it, problem starts. So the only food I was eating then was coconut, fresh coconut. And that's why I also did a video 2 days ago. You can go and watch that video. It's a short one. The few foods that are clean. There are some times that you are trying to take back your health, whether it's diabetes or whatever, because you have too much toxins in your body. Toxic overload will be, spoiling your effort. So you need to be dealing with that too, by reducing cooked foods, reducing processed food. And that time it was coconut I was eating most of the time, and I began to grow lean. And when I tell people that coconut, I became so lean, coconut, and I stopped red palm oil. But when I stopped the red palm oil for up to 6 months, I saw the effect. I began to add it back. Red palm oil is good in moderation for your thyroid. Yes, I began to have this thing I'm telling you is over 10 years. When I stopped, I thought, don't be too extreme. I came up with a slogan for my followers. Food is our medicine, but moderation is our rule. I still maintain that even on this channel, because it's the same me that talking about food, using food as medicine, but being moderate about it, because it has to guide you moderation. So because I left the red palm oil for too long, that red color has its own uniqueness. Don't joke with it. It's high in vitamin A. And that red color is unique, especially if you get the real red palm oil. It's good, but it's high in palmitic acid. It's also high in saturated fat. And so it's not as high as coconut oil in terms of saturated fat. But the coconut oil is a disease-fighting kind of fat. It's not the type of fat that clog the arteries like the red palm oil. Red palm oil can clog arteries. Although there are some studies now that are coming out and saying that red oil is this, but me myself using it, I feel is the most minimal oil I use. But to stay off it completely, I have tried it before and seen the effect. So I no longer say it's not me and red palm oil. And for instance, if you are avoiding palm oil, your platelet count may not always be complete if you are avoiding completely. Because if you are using that red palm oil to eat, like when we say people are drying out, looking for food that support your thyroid. When I stopped it, I was feeling the thyroid. You know, it's one kind delicate and very sensitive gland around somewhere. I don't know somewhere. But if you are very, if you are eager listening to your body, how your body behaves, you will feel when the thyroid is in trouble. When your thyroid is, before it starts growing out, you will start feeling it. That small butterfly kind of something there, you will start feeling it. So it needs some pampering, it needs protection. Red oil is good. Anytime I stay too long from it and I start feeling that thing trying to, because these cells are kept, the integrity are preserved by the presence of good fats. And red palm oil contains good fats. But because it has an amount of saturation which somebody with high blood pressure may not be able to tolerate, when the blood pressure is initially quite high, I would suggest that we take olive oil most of that time because of its profile. But after some time, you start adding your red palm oil in small amount. Because I have lived with people with high blood pressure. I've also tried to help and support them. And at the initial time, we withdrew the red oil for the BP to come down, because the saturation may not give you that chance if you continue to consume it every day, continue to build up. And so after the BP started coming down, we start to add red oil small, so that some sensitive organs will not become irritated because of the absence of fats, good fats. They are integrity. They are kept protected by fat. And if I tell you some of the things that fat has done, I mean, including good fat has done in people that I know, it will shock you. I'm telling you, it will shock you. Yes, like you are saying now, depending on your age, I don't know how old are you. Can you please drop a comment? I want to know how old are you, because if you are someone that is not taking coconut oil before, and your body, you're already over 60, any day you take it, your body will be overwhelmed by it. It's said to have over about 89% saturated fat. It's the highest among all others. All other oils, go and do your own investigation. Go and verify. So if you are 56 years and you have not been taking the oil, talking of the coconut oil, if you take it, my dear, you need to start rubbing it around your teeth first, because it's good for your oral health. It helps to stop breath, kill off, strengthen your teeth and your gums, and then stop rubbing it like you're teaching your body how to accept it. Because you know what you rub in your gums and your teeth will eventually, gradually, because it's oil based, slowly find its way to your. It's one of the best brain foods, coconut oil. It's one of the best brain foods. It's one of the best thyroid foods. Cold pressed coconut oil. Cold pressed, please. So if you start rubbing it around your gums, around your teeth, it's like you are teaching your body. You know, yesterday I said don't rush any food that you are not used to before. Your body is like a living organism. You need to teach it how to eat that food. So if you now quickly say, maybe you saw online where somebody said, maybe somebody that is 35 or 40 years said he's drinking a spoon of coconut. I've seen such videos. And you that you are 60 or 65 or almost 60, you now go home and carry 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and drink, because someone else who is younger or even have different blood group and genotype or different toleration for coconut oil, and then you now go and watch it maybe on internet and saw it somewhere, and when you get home you collect it, and maybe it's not even cold pressed, but then you take it finish, you look like your chest, your heart is blocked. It's blocked because of the saturated fat. So you will now become afraid, and the next minute you now hearing your heart making boom, 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 boom. It's because of the saturation. And so when you are hearing your heart beating like it's finding hard to beat, you will be afraid yourself. I made a video. There's some part of your body that you mustn't hear them talking. Anytime you hear them talking, something is wrong and you become afraid. And that is, one of them is your heart. If you can hear the sound of your heart, I do hear it occasionally, making boom, boom, boom. You know something is wrong. You too become worried. Tension begin to rise because you're not supposed to hear them. The same thing with our ears. There are some parts of our body that are working silently. And the beautiful thing is that it's even the best, I don't know whether to say, I don't want to say the best. There's no best part of the body because none of them should be sick. If one is sick, it's going to affect the other ones. So the most sensitive, let me use the word, the most sensitive part of this body that we carry, when it begins to make sound that you can hear it or feel it, you need to run for help. And so if you happen to hear that coconut oil is good, coconut oil is, there are so many wonderful things about coconut oil. It has lauric acid, it can support your brain, it can help you with insulin resistance, it can support your teeth, and you hate so much. And you just went and packed and bought it, and went, you watch one video online, you went and collect the thing and drink. And after drinking it, suddenly you hear your heart beating like that. You become afraid. Making boom, boom, boom. At 56, you will almost run and meet your doctor that you don't know what is going on. That is exactly the way it is. And what is causing it is because of the saturation, and it's not good. So if you want to start and you haven't been using it, start rubbing it around your teeth. If you want to sleep, you're going to sleep very well. Just take a good cold press. I'm giving you one of my secrets. If you are finished the day's work and you are on your bed, keep it by your bedside. I do keep it. Not every day though. But if you feel that you have gone too much stress and it's taking time to sleep, my dear, take coconut oil. You are teaching your body now to recognize the coconut oil as part that is going to be part of you over time because of your brain health. So you're going to take small and rub around your teeth, rub around your gums, close your mouth and go to bed. Tomorrow you're going to wake. Thank you, you're welcome. Tomorrow you're going to wake up refreshed because it's going to kill off a lot of bacteria that disturb your sleep. It's going to support you with a sustained sleep that will last. All those sleep, wake up, can't sleep again, it's not going to be part of that night. But don't go and drink lots of it at 56 or 60 or 65 or 70. But by the time you start doing this way, over time, now when you start feeling the effect, positive effect, you now want to increase the quantity slightly. That's the way, my dear. Look at me, is what I practice secretly. So by the time your body started to recognize it, just like a smoker, over time, you can even take 1 teaspoon, finish it, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. I've seen old people, 75, 80 who drink coconut oil. But they don't take other fats in the diet because they know that this is the fat they need for their brain. So when they take it, they know that they monitor all the other fats in the diet. So they don't bring in too much. Maybe you drank it, then you now go and cook with red oil. After cooking with red oil, you now go and eat other fat and calories because it has a lot of calorie. So when you are taking such things, you monitor your calorie consumption. Yes, you monitor your calorie consumption so that you don't increase the calorie in your body. It's going to also cause the heart to start to make sound that you yourself can hear because the weight is too much. So you need to start learning. Somebody is saying coffee has caffeine that will keep you running all day. My dear, don't go there. Don't go to coffee. It's something I also take moderately, but in a long while. But coffee dries you out. I mean, talking of the cells, it dries you out. It makes your body to need more water, and it makes your blood pressure to rise when you are not properly hydrated. I talk about water therapy, and we need to go and watch that. I did a full live session on water therapy. What is it? How do you take the water? And for how long? There is a full life on it. And so a lot of people are also taking it the wrong way. If you have attained certain age and in fact, if you are taking the caffeine too much, it predisposes you to high blood pressure because of this singular fact. But you must not take it out of your diet completely, because I still take it occasionally because it supports your liver, it supports your colon health, it supports your metabolism, that is helping your body to move faster. It helps you fight and reduce depression. It keeps your energy. Sometimes, whenever I feel like not posting, not doing anything, video, don't feel like doing anything, that's depression. I go and make a cup of coffee. After taking it, I can walk all day and be happy doing it. Coffee is great, but don't make it habitual, because the caffeine is not a friend of your heart. The caffeine will also rob you of fluid at the cellular level. That's what the caffeine will do. It's going to rob you of fluid at the cellular level. So you will need more water, or else you'll be looking older than your age. That is the truth. Nobody will tell you, but I'm telling you for free. It's going to make you look older because of poor hydration. What do I mean by that? If you needed a bottle of water, for instance, after you took coffee, you need to double it. It has to be 2 bottles or 1.5, or else the cells will suffer of dehydration. You look your hand looking dried. Sometimes you can't bend it. See me, you can't switch your hand like this because the place will look stiff and sticky, and that's what can affect blood pressure too, those who are going through blood pressure. So you don't need to indulge in it too much because of it has its own good sides, it has its own bad sides. And like I said before, you don't have to, put yourself into a particular food too much, or else you're going to learn some ugly things about that food. Then you don't have to also stay away, because some people said they have been told not to take peanuts, they have been told not to take the cashew nut, they have been told, yes, at a particular time your body didn't need it, or maybe you took it in excess. Now you need to allow your body to offload that excess. So after offloading it, which it is usually able to do on its own, After offloading it, then you just gradually take it back. I have heard people talk very bad thing about groundnut, very bad. I've also tasted the ugly side of some of these foods, because some of them taste so nice that you will eat and eat until you pass the boundary, what I call boundary. You pass the required. Thank you so much. Look at wonderful comments. God bless you. I really appreciate that. That's quite encouraging. So what I'm saying is, when you are, taking all of these things, you need to apply moderation, because every good food, it doesn't matter how good it is, if you take it the wrong way, if you take it at the wrong time, if you take the wrong quantity, the amount, it's going to show you off the ugly side. It doesn't matter, even almond. There's no food that you take in excess. So telling me that you've been advised to stay away from a particular food, I don't listen to that, because I have also experienced some negative side when I take certain foods in excess. But the beautiful thing about our body is that you can always find another food to balance off. When you have information, you can always, like if you take excess food like peanut, you can take cucumbers, you can take alkaline food, because peanut is acidic. But being acidic doesn't mean you should avoid it. It's inflammatory. It's inflammation causing, but it's high in protein. And so when you consider the protein quantity and quality in the peanut, why should I avoid it? Besides, it tastes very nice. So after allowing the excess in your body to go off, you return and reduce the quantity and continue to reduce the amount, allowing for the required daily allowance that your body can take. It may vary with individual anyway. And so I just told us some of the spices that you can take in your diet. If you are managing high blood pressure, you must cook with them every day. Now, if you are managing high blood pressure, if you see a food that is dead, don't eat it. A food, what do I mean? If you have stored your soup in the fridge for 5-6 days, all those egusi soup, convenient foods, and you just bring it out, you want to eat it with your swallow or eba or whatever, go get garlic, go get fresh vegetables if you must eat that particular soup. Go get onions and add it to that soup as if you want to cook it afresh. These are blood thinners. These things are to work in your favor concerning your blood pressure, or else you may finish eating that food. It may taste nice, taste great, but 1 hour or 2 hours later, your BP starts to move up. Most obviously because some of those food, the body cannot use them. So they start pushing on your this thing, and their blood pressure starts, because the body wants to use them. They are dead. You need to put live foods, prebiotics into the food to bring life into it. So some of those foods, when you are consuming them, you feel some slight sweating. Something like a small amount of sweat is coming out. Okay, we are richer than days before, and we are eating like pigs. We are eating too much meat. Yes, you are very correct. If you are a lover of meat, you love meat a lot, you need to reduce it. Every food has its own good side and bad side, especially those of you that are in the USA. It seems you love meat a lot, but you need to start to go low, take more of plant-based. There are a lot of plant-based food you can eat, and reduce your meat, especially as you age. You need meat while growing up because meat contains complete protein, complete amino acid for growing up. But after you have finished growing up, you have to reduce it. You don't even need to wait until you are 40, 50 before you stop, before you reduce or stop the meat. Meat is acidic, you know that. But that is not to say that we should avoid acidic foods. I've tried that before. Honestly, I've tried it. When we say acidic food, alkaline food, don't go only for alkaline food. I've done that also. It's not good. It makes you to feel pain easily. Start feeling pain. Any little thing, even ordinary chair you sit on and put your hand on it, it start paining you on your skin. That is my experience, and I found it to be true. Once you make the adjustment and add a little acidic food to tomorrow, because when we talk acidic food, my body is acidic. Some people they don't want to even go there again. I did all of that. It's something you can do. It may even be expensive. I did all of that. Say no, me, I no acid again. No, na only alkaline I dey eat now. My dear, occasionally I go acidic now. There's nothing I cannot eat now. Occasion, but I will know why I'm eating it and why I should not overdo it. And so, talking about this thing, the spices, black pepper is one of your best friends. You can write that one down too. We're talking about spices, and I'm going this way because some of the questions seem to be tending to that direction. So you need to write down some of these things. Black pepper, particularly good for your blood pressure. Very nice. Okay, informative. Thank you, Mama. Oh, thanks, Mama. Okay, that's a good comment. I appreciate that. All of you should drop your comment too, so that I will know that yes, you're getting the message. Black pepper is good for you. You can write it down. Those tiny peppers. Check my channel. I talked about some of these things. It's one of the food that you should have around you. If you are traveling and you have high blood pressure, have black pepper. It has more effect than cayenne pepper when it comes to managing blood pressure. And it's a blood thinner. Sometimes you could be in a place, maybe you went out, especially during Yellowtide, during the end of year, celebrations. You just went somewhere and you ate something and your head is giving you sign that BP. Collect your black pepper, 2 or 3, put it in your mouth. While people are talking, you know what's going on inside of you. And you're already working to reverse it. Always have some of them around you, in your pocket, in your car, in your purses, Some of those things that can give you instant relief. Especially if you are not on medication. Because if you're on medication, you carry your medication wherever you go. So when it's time, you take it. But if you are not on medication, you carry if you're not on medication, I'm not on medication. So I know I take some of the things that I think I need. I made a video about traveling too. So when you are traveling, you need to know, you just don't carry your bag like every other person and jump on the road. If you are already in your 50s, you settle down and pick some of these things and travel with it. Because where you are going, you may not have access to them. So you need to have okay, that's part of it now. It's part of it. It's not only paining you. Sometimes the buttocks will become so soft at the back. You get to that point. That's why we need to eat foods that will help with our collagen too. Collagen building foods. Something that will start to make our skin to become losing the flabby, becoming to reduce that flabbiness that comes with aging. Because the skin tend to get softer. Not becoming so firm. And exercising also helps. Because any part can be exercised. So, for the spices, add black pepper. If you are managing blood pressure, stay away from those bouillon cubes. you will see your blood pressure start coming down gradually. And over time, you'll be in charge. And that's my prayer for you. It will drop so much that your doctor will tell you to stop the medicine. I've seen people like that. I've counseled people who happen like that. They started drinking the soursop tea, for instance. Before you know it, the BP was just slashing down every day. Doctor says, stop the medications. The way it's going down, what are you taking? So that is it. Now, like I said before, there are times the arteries are clogged. You need to go for a walk. So if you are sitting too long in a place, it can trigger your blood to begin to rise. So that is why I said what caused a rise in blood pressure in Mr. A may be different from that of Mr. B. Because if you are sitting for too long, you are at risk of high blood pressure, especially for older adults. And so you need to go for a walk to unclog the arteries. And if you don't go for a walk, your arteries could get clogged. And all of these things could be complicating things for you. And so in the morning, for instance, if you're managing blood pressure and you are going for a job that will keep you sitting all day, and maybe you are going to enter your car right away, do some exercises, at least 30 minutes or more before you go to that place. And even while at work, sometimes you stand up and move around to reduce the risk of high blood pressure. Yes, when I sit down like this and talk and go live, immediately I come out. I try not to sit for some time because of the times I've spent sitting. And of course, there was one I did, I was standing, talking throughout. I said, you can also go and look at it. I stood up for more than 1 hour. I said, I want to talk about menopause. I want to talk about, so let you see me standing. I know that I can also stand for long. As long as I want, I can stand for hours. As much as I can sit too. So you need to know some of these things so that you will understand where the high blood pressure, your high blood pressure is coming from. Because if you know where it's coming from, you'll be able to stop it. Stop the blood pressure. Close that road, that avenue that the high blood. If it's coming from inactivity, you have to raise up your activity level small. And if it's coming from overactivity, which is stress, inactivity is bad. Too much activity is bad, is stress. And so if it's coming from too much activity, overactivity, stress, you have to reduce it. That's the way to manage the blood pressure. So it's not all about medication. You take medication and you think with medication you can just go ahead and do what you like. I met somebody about 2 years now. It's a young lady, is big. It's big. He said, I want to know about drinking beer. It's not good for you again, no. If you are drinking beer and you are already 56, you have to stop it. That's my advice. I like beer and we drink about 2 cans twice a month, about 2 cans each time. I'm not a drunk, but just like the taste and it puts me to sleep. What are your feelings? Okay, you know that all these things are habitual. That's the truth. That's what I said about coconut oil. You have to teach your body. No, when you start the thing, you could just manage and maybe they forced you to taste a little, but over time your body gets used to it. That's the case now you're talking about. Your body like gets used to it. It helps you to sleep. The same thing that with medications. That's why I say don't throw away your medication because you're following my channel. Don't quickly throw it away. Carry your doctor along. Very important. So because your body now is used to it, you have to, and you know it's going to affect, yes, depending on the kind of beer you are also taking. You know, beer, just like we talk about bread, they say bread is bad, bread is bad. Depending on the type of beer, the content of the beer. Now, if you say it puts you to sleep, if it doesn't have alcohol in it, it's okay. But if there is alcohol, it's going to be causing gradually fatty liver will be developing. So you say Mexican Muslim. No, you have to read the content, because when they make the, because I don't have, when they make this, they show you the percentage of alcohol in that particular beer. It will be written on it. So you need to always, I talked about labels yesterday, that if you're a diabetic, if you are someone managing high blood pressure, you must read labels. Like the beer you're talking now, you need to read and know the amount of alcohol inside that beer. So because if you know that it has a high content of alcohol, you will start learning to withdraw. My dear, it's the truth I'm telling you. My own late dad, he took alcohol a lot. And I know what he did. Even after he had stopped, the liver was very, very problematic. And it contributed to the crisis in his health. So, like you are saying, like 4.5, it's not much. But then, if I am to counsel you, though you are not taking too much, maybe once in a while, as you say, it may not be too much. Your body can guide you. Like I take coffee too once in a while. So it may not do you any harm if it comes mostly with natural ingredients. You know, a lot of people are thinking that beer is, because they give you the name beer. Beer is a name. It's a name that is given to it. But the content is what you need to check. So if you find out that it supports you, helps you, and the alcohol content is not too much, why not? Just like I know that caffeine is bad, but I still take coffee once in a while. If you know that it has benefits for you, are you aware? Do you also remember that even in the Bible, the book of Timothy, that he was even advised, as he started getting old, no longer, he was advised to not take only water again, but he should be taking a little wine because of his frequent ailments, all these stomach problems. So maybe, I don't know the nature of the ailments that Timothy had, but he was advised to be adding a little wine. So we don't know the content of that wine that he's taking. It could be naturally brewed with natural ingredients to support his health. And so if it's natural ingredient and supporting your health, depending on what is made, the ingredients that is made. Okay, so you must read that book. Okay, you mean the book I'm talking about in the Bible? Yes, you can go. In fact, I'll be here tomorrow by God's grace. I will tell you the verse. I can't remember the verse, but it's something I know very well, that he was advised not to take only water again. Timothy, yes. First and second, I don't know, I think it's either the second Timothy or so. It's a very short, First and Second Timothy are short books, so they are not long. You can see from the headings, and then you can get it. But I tell you, that is the humble advice, not to take only water, but a little wine, because of his frequent ailments. And so it depends on the content. It could be brewed with some of the ingredients you are talking about to support his health. So that is part of the reason why some people, so I don't say stop doing this, stop taking this because of this, because of that. If you don't make it a habit, like you say, you don't take too much of it, you don't take it frequently, why would I ask you to stop it if it's something that's benefiting your health? When even the Bible has an injunction about the servant of God was advised when he was getting old to no longer take only water, but he should add a little wine because of his frequent ailments. And so, in our own here, for managing high blood pressure, you need to be more careful with what you eat, as either breakfast or your dinner, your lunch. I don't have too many recipes about what to eat. A lot of people have come to ask for recipes. I should list it out. I said I don't do that. Why? Because what you have in your region is what I have here. So how many recipes am I going to be doing? If I ask you to eat a so thing that I'm eating, maybe something that we have here, and you don't have it here, where you are, I educate you so that you know the content of what you are eating. Protein is protein. Plant. In fact, some regions are more blessed with, seafoods. Better foods. Ginkgo, a lot of, golden seal. I have so many herbs that I have not even seen before. And some people are enjoying it freely. So why would I be giving recipes to people? I can do that for those in my locality, but not for when people are from South Africa, from US, from Philippines, from all over. I will now be drafting recipes and be giving everybody. No. What you need is education so that you can make a choice of what will support your health. When you are taking a caffeinated tea, you know what it's going to do for you. And if you need to take a break on it, you do. For instance, now, for those managing high blood pressure, African markets are everywhere. Yes, you can go there and get some of these. African markets are everywhere. For those that are managing high blood pressure, for instance, if you want to indulge in nuts, you buy cashew nuts. It's good for your blood pressure. It has happened to me. There was a time I started eating so much nuts because I don't have blood pressure. My blood pressure doesn't go beyond 120, 115. So I started eating lots of cashews. That's how I come about some of these things. It's not that I go to lab or anything. I was eating it before you know it, during the weekend, my BP dropped to 100. So I said, it's enough. It's time to stop. I just checked it. I saw it's 100. So I often tell people that a more favorable nut is what you should take. Cashews are better than peanuts. But don't avoid peanuts altogether, because peanuts are higher in protein. You need to take it occasionally in moderation if you're managing high blood pressure. It's a source of vitamin E. If you take it in moderation, they're all heart healthy. Most of the vitamin E, like peanuts, it contains vitamin E. But sometimes we take too much. I am a victim occasionally. When I sit on granite in those days, I could eat and eat and eat. It's so tasty. Then when you take finish, sometimes the thing, because of the acid, start coming to your chest. Does that make me say I will never take it again? That's what I tell people. All you do is just take a break. Eat alkaline foods like cucumbers, apples, to return to dissolve the acid. Don't forget to confess to Jesus and to return to, please, where are you commenting from? When you are commenting, please write where you are commenting from so that I know, at least we'll be becoming friends, because it will be good if we are friends. If you have attended this thing 1 or 2 times, and I should be able to recognize you, know you, and then I know that we are now friends. Yes, that is exactly what we're saying. So you that you are commenting hanky wheat or something, I need you to drop where you're coming. When I eat my peanut butter stew, my blood sugar goes down. Oh my God. Can you see? So is that good or not good? Now, you know why I'm so excited about this, your comments? Now, I told us that if I leave myself so that my sugar can go up. But I've heard people say They can't eat peanuts again. They can't eat peanuts. It gives me quality energy. And I don't have issues if I eat other foods moderately. It supplies me protein. It has a lot of vitamin E. And so it's good for diabetics. But I've also seen people who say they have been advised against peanuts. How many foods are you going to avoid? Yes. Even if you are not diabetic, if you are over 50 or you are 60 like myself, you treat yourself like you are a pre. That's what I tell people. I treat myself like that. Even though I eat almost everything. Yes, I eat everything. But I'm not going to be saying that because my blood sugar is no longer going up, that's all. I should just do whatever I like with my body when I'm already 60 and above. That won't be nice. I can't be living my life like that. It will mean you're looking for trouble. So peanut butter is higher in protein. That is what you are confirming to me. And you need protein to manage diabetes. I tell people, say, it's not to lower blood pressure, blood sugar that is the issue. It's to sustain it. And for you to sustain it, you need fats in the diet. Healthy fats. Naturally occurring fats. Like those in peanuts, cashews. All the naturally, almonds, all the naturally occurring fats will help you to maintain to manage your sugar. And not only your sugar, also your blood pressure. But the point is, when you take too much of the peanuts, like some of us we do occasionally, it becomes inflammatory. And every food behaves that way. If you consume it too much, it's going to show off inflammation. So you will now you shouldn't take it, never again. That's not good. You just give yourself a break from it to allow your body to offload the excess. And you come back and continue to take it in moderation. That's what I do. Anytime I suspect that the peanut, I don't take the peanut butter, I take the real peanut. I mean, the peanut itself as it is. Fresh peanut that is roasted. I make mine with sweet potatoes. Okay, are you talking of you make what? Okay, are you talking of the peanut butter? Can you comment? Blue butterflies. Let me know what you are making with the sweet potatoes. Okay, peanut butter, okay. Well, I don't recommend or suggest it. If you have what's it called? I don't know how you go about it, but olive oil is a better option for eating starchy and root vegetables like green plantain, sweet potatoes. Olive oil is better because of the weight. I don't like combining two heavy food together. I don't like combining two resistant foods together. So you try, okay, that's good. So I don't like combining two resistant food together. It's not the best for diabetics. If you can combine it with oats, combine it with some lighter food that have weight, go with food that, sweet potato is heavy. In fact, lately I fear the sweet potato. I'm becoming I'm trying to be more mindful of. There was a time I was really enjoying and eating it, but it's be causing weight gain. And apart from weight gain, it's heavy. The older you get, the more you eat food that are lighter in weight. So for the for the high blood pressure, I focus more on the spices today. Yeah, plantain, the green one, yes, it has potassium, good amount of potassium, just like and it's good for diabetics. Good for it. So it's slowly released. It has its own sugar, slowly released. So you can take it. I mean the green plantain and the sweet potatoes for the diabetics, and then the unpolished rice is also good. Unpolished rice is good. And green banana, yes, green banana, you call it, some of you call it green banana, but we call it plantain here. And then you can take it. Unpolished rice is good too. Unpolished rice is good. Oats is good. There are so many other foods, but depends also on the way you prepare it. Sometimes the way you prepare it can make it not friendly. You can make it adding vegetables like the green plantain and the sweet potato. When you add green vegetables, it makes it more healthy, more friendly, because the green vegetables are usually lower in calorie and they contain a lot of vitamins and minerals. But you need to add small oil, healthy fat. I use peanut oil. I said it yesterday. I use peanut oil to cook most of my meals because it's a good source of vitamin E. And you need it for our heart. You need it to support our liver function. It's a powerful antioxidant. I'm talking of the vitamin E. So it's found in high amount in peanuts. So you can see that we have spent a good time today, over 1 hour, I think so. So hopefully we'll be here again tomorrow, because there is still a lot to talk about. We still talk about it because of the interaction I'm having. Well, there are other vegetables that are great for high blood pressure. There are other vegetables. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Today we talk about spices, and we couldn't even exhaust it. Have you heard of black seed? It's great for your blood pressure. Have you heard of cumin? It's great for your blood pressure. Have you heard of sesame seed? Pumpkin seed? Okay, tomorrow is Christmas. Okay, sorry. But I may still come in the evening. Me, I'm really an old. Let me tell you something about this, our job. Now every day, a sick person don't know Christmas. Sickness and disease does not know about Christmas. If somebody is sick, as we are talking now, somebody in the hospital. And that's why I like to, if I have the strength and the grace, now children they celebrate, I will still come here tomorrow by about evening time. If someone is sick, he doesn't know about Christmas. That's exactly the point. So as you are celebrating, some are in the hospital, gnashing their teeth. And suppose my message can help that person. Do I sit at home and say I'm celebrating Christmas when some people are sick and they need the information I want to give out? Because information is power, knowledge is power. You can empower that person to be free. Some people are sick, some people will get sick tomorrow because of what they ate. So if I have the strength, my dear, I'll meet you here tomorrow again at about 4. Some people don't celebrate Christmas. The Muslims don't. Sickness does not know Christmas. Somebody said I'll be here and great. Too much health nuggets. Thank you so much. I'll be here. I tell you, when I eat, what am I doing? Am I nursing a baby? No, am I nursing a baby that I will now go and sleep, say because I'm doing Christmas? If I have the strength, I'll be here tomorrow. That's the promise. But if I feel like relaxing and not coming, fine. But as long as if I come, 1 or 2 persons will be there. We will be there doing our thing. Because sickness, you don't know Christmas. There was one Christmas I had to fast. I will leave that story for another day. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all of you. I'm ending it now. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Tomorrow at about this time, at least you will have finished eating your rice. and your chicken. And don't forget to send my own, no, because I need to eat too. Thank you for coming. I really love you all and appreciate you. Thank you for, being here. And those of you who will be here tomorrow, help me to like this life. Tomorrow, if you are not busy with your rice and your chicken, we'll be here again. And even if you are not here, some people will be here. I hope to be here by the grace of God. As long as I'm in perfect health, I promise you, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you for coming. And for me, it's bye for now. Thank you for that comment. I love it. You are precious. See you again tomorrow.